you back listening to Jeremiah Wonders. And I'll tell you what, I appreciate it. Yep, that's freaking right. You listening to this means so much to me. I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate it so much. Seriously, though, it's been cool. A lot of people have been reaching out. A lot of good, positive support of the show. I hope this show finds you well. I hope this show has been a positive boost to your week. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope this kicks it off. I hope good things are happening to you in your life. You know, I'm all about that positivity, dog. All about that positivity. And I thank you guys for those 5-star reviews on iTunes, those reviews. All that stuff helps. And I've been getting some nice letters, some emails from you guys at your boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. Appreciate those of you people who are reaching out to me. Yeah, that's right. Got some pretty big news today. Pretty big news, guys. New sponsor of the podcast. Oh, man, I'm so excited. So excited to share this with you. This pizza place is in my top 5 of all time. Do you know how hard that is as a pizza connoisseur? For a place to get in Jeremiah's top 5, your boy's top 5? Joe's Pizza. Yes. Yes. They're the new freaking sponsor of this podcast. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be prouder. In West Hollywood. It's the one right next to the Comedy Store. They're hooking it up. There's a new segment on the show. Not going to spoil it, but it involves pizza. And Jessimae was the first one to try it out, and we had a great time. Also, Speedweed, loyal supporter of the show, sponsoring that show weekly. Hit up Gino. Hit up at Speedweed on Twitter. That kush, that ganja delivery service, baby. Man, pizza and weed as sponsors. Pretty dope, guys. Pretty freaking dope. But if you go to Joe's Pizza, it's the one right next to the Comedy Store down the street, walking distance on Sunset in West Hollywood, tell them Jeremiah Watkins or Jeremiah Wonders sent you. Yeah, that's what's up. So excited. I got some cool stuff I want to plug real quick, guys. March 4th, Sunday, I will be making my debut on HBO on Pete Holmes' show Crashing with the Roast Battle crew. The episode is called Roast Battle. How freaking cool is that? We did an HBO crossover takeover show with Pete Holmes. Thank you to Pete Holmes and Judd Apatow for making that happen. And the other people who were involved as well. Jeff Ross, of course. Our buddies over there. Yes. So excited. Other than that, I'll also be March 1 through 3rd, Sacramento Punchline with my buddy, the Golden Pony, Tony Hinchcliffe. He's headlining. I'm featuring for him. And that is one heck of a show. We've done a tour together in the fall, the Monster Energy Drink Tour. It's one heck of a show whenever you come see us. We put on a show for you guys. So hope to see you guys up there in the Bay Area. I saw Black Panther this week. It's freaking great. I loved it. I get all the hype around it, and it's deserved hype. I suggest if you haven't seen it, you got to see it in theaters. It's a great movie. Also, a couple other things I did this week. For those involved in the comedy community, I showcased for this thing called Just for Laughs. They're new faces of comedy. Felt like I did pretty good. We'll see if I get a call back. I always just leave that stuff up. You know, try not to think about that stuff too much. If it happens, it happens. That's great. If not, on to the next thing. That's how your boy works. You know? Go where you want it. If you're not wanted there, figure a way out to be wanted there. Figure a way to get out good enough where people want you around. I don't know. Just talking my mind. I've been getting into Black Mirror on Netflix. Man, that show's great. My wife and I freaking love that show. We've been knocking out episodes of that show. Like an episode a day. We're in like I think we're in season 3 right now. But it's getting good. Other thing that happened, I was playing some sax actually on this episode during sax talk, and I pulled my mouthpiece off, and the cork, if you know anything about saxophones, there's cork that's around the neck. It completely came off, and I had to go get it fixed at Sam Ash, and they hooked it up. They fixed it in like 15 minutes, and I've got new cork on my sax, and that cork has been on there for 18 years. at least. That's as long as I've been playing it. So I guess it needs some new corking. Got a new cork job. So that was cool. And then I'm just giving you guys a play-by-play. Why not? Of a little moments, little highlights, memorable things that happened to me this week. Also, this was a big deal. IO West Improv Olympic is an affiliate. IO is in Chicago. It's been home to many improvisers, many greats over the years. Chris Farley, Amy Poehler. I mean, the list goes on. If you look at SNL's cast for the years, I'd look up IO without me getting too much into the history, but it's amazing. I did years of shows there. No joke, hundreds of shows there. I used to run a Saturday show in their upstairs room and their room called The Loft with my buddy Justin Alexio, who I did the Building Years podcast with for years. We did 3 years of every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Some of the worst times I've ever bombed in my life was on that show. So I grew a lot as a comic. And iOS was closing down. It closed down last night, so it was kind of a sad moment. I stood on the stage for the last time, and that is actually over 8 years ago. In January of 2010 is whenever I started stand-up comedy, and I did my first stand-up comedy set on the iOS main stage, and Jade Catapretta was hosting the open mic. So I stood on that stage one more time. I don't know what's going to become of the space there, but it's sad whenever things go out of business. We had another place called Westwood Brewing Company where a lot of us came up together in my class of comedians. That when a place goes out of business, it's very sad because you feel, there's a hole, and then the people have to find other homes. Luckily, that wasn't my home base. The Comedy Store is my home base, so it's definitely less sad for me than other people. But I literally did a show there last weekend, so I was still performing there a lot. So I hope that the people who are in that community find other outlets and find other clubs or other alternative venues that welcome them and they still keep doing their thing, Can't let the venue be the only thing that fuels you for the love of what you're doing. Man, there's a guy named Stan who keeps writing to me. I think he's a troubled soul, guys. And he wrote another letter to me, and I'm gonna read it to you right now. Here's the latest letter from my buddy Stan. Dear Jeremiah, I'm happy to see you started this podcast. You've been absolutely hilarious the whole time on Kill Tony. This podcast is needed to happen. You're one of the nicest comedians I've ever met. I'm an open micer back in your hometown of KC, and it's refreshing to have your support. I don't see a lot of that in open mic scenes. Remember when we did an episode of Tall Notes outside the Kansas City Improv next to a dumpster? You would give me advice on what I needed to do to make it out to California by the time I'm 26. You didn't need to do that, and I'm thankful every day for it. That's still the most listened to episode of my podcast. My 26th birthday is 7 months away, and I have 13 cents to my name. So I don't think I'm going to make it to Los Angeles quite yet. But I know the only thing I need to do as a comedian is never give up. You told me to remind myself to have fun in the process, and I get that because you never know how long this ride will be. I'm learning a lot, and I'm having a lot of fun. So any comedians out there listening to this that are going through tough times, remember that all you need to do to survive is never quit. I'll see you in LA soon, Jeremiah. Truly yours, your biggest fan. This is Stan. JK, this is Trey Thompson. Thank you so much to Trey Thompson for writing me that nice letter. I appreciate that, buddy. He's a funny Kansas City comic. He needs to get his butt out to LA or New York or one of the bigger scenes, even Denver or Chicago. They got scenes that are coming up. That they got a lot of great comics there. Nothing to knock the Kansas City scene, but I don't think that there's a whole lot going on there. So I hope that you get out to LA soon, buddy. I'm rooting for you, and just know that you got somebody out here who's got your back if you come out this way to Los Angeles. Let's get into this episode today, guys. So excited. Jessimae and I had a lot of fun hanging out, riffing, good times. If you don't know her, check her out online on her Twitter, her Instagram. Super funny. Just one of those naturally funny people, always positive, always fun to be around. She's great. Also, if you haven't been to jeremiahwatkins.tv/shop, go grab a t-shirt from your boy. got a bunch of designs. I got wave shirts from Roast Battle. Got Reagan and Watkins tees. Yeah. Got some just Watkins tees. maybe I'll do a Jeremiah Wonders shirt eventually. Who knows? If you're interested in sponsoring this show, email your boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. That's YOUR boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. I've been getting a lot of people hitting me up to do some different stuff, and I'm really excited that Speedweed has been continuously sponsoring the show, and that Joe's Pizza on Sunset in West Hollywood is hooking a brother up. So that's super exciting, super cool. Thanks for all the love, for all the support. Without further ado, here is Jessimae Peluso on Jeremiah Wonders. We're in it.
We're in it.
It's happening.
Absolutely. It's all happening.
Everything's happening
all
around
at
us.
once.
Everything.
We can't avoid it.
No, it's coming so quickly.
And so slow.
And so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All at once.
All at once.
It's kind of like indigestion.
Like from the chicken.
From the chicken. I'm experiencing I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on inside of me. My body hates me. No more dinner parties.
Well, Jessimae and I were talking before the podcast started, and she said, "Could you get a food allergy from chicken?" I said, "I think you just had bad chicken."
I think people are trying to kill me.
Really?
People are trying to murder me slowly.
What did you do?
I beat up kittens in a Second Life.
What?
There's only 2 of them. I kicked them, but I didn't kick them hard. I would never. I think that's such a sign of like what kind of person you are if you would do anything to hurt a kitten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever hurt a kitten?
No. Well, okay.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Okay. I used to, whenever I was a kid, I guess this is going deep real quick on this podcast.
Bad chicken and hurting kittens.
Bad
with Jeremiah
chicken.
Watkins.
Yeah. Hey, guys, make sure you hashtag that. Bad chicken, worst kittens. So me and a friend used to play catch with this one little kitten that we had.
You played kitten catch?
When you phrase it like that, it sounds real mean.
Well, God, when you word it that
you
way.
didn't word it that way. I'm like sweating right now. I haven't even thought about this forever. You
feel guilty.
Well, yeah, now I do. Whenever, it was literally, it wouldn't be very often. It wasn't like a recurring thing that we did. I just have a memory one time of us playing catch with our cat. Like
That's
our
because your
family
brain
cat.
is saving you from all the other memories where you toss the cat around the fucking room, Jeremiah. Son of a...
All right, we hooked it up to a fan once. Just one time, okay?
We used to, when I was a kid, my friend Amy and I, we would get like, those, like a bigger ball that you could kick around, like a lighter plastic one, like when you go into like a Toys R Us store, there's a big basket of them. They're like brightly colored. We'd get one of those and we'd kick it around my room and just knock everything off the walls. We literally would just kick it and not care where it went. We'd turn the fan on so the fan would give it like an extra, punt across the room if it landed on the fan. And my mom would come up and be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And the room would just be in a total disarray. And we did that for fun.
Yeah. My brother and I used to play this game called Alaska, where we would get like every blanket and every towel like in the house, and we would act like we were freezing cold because we're like, Alaska's really cold. We've heard.
Were you guys really cold? Were you poor?
No, I mean moments for sure.
I think everyone should have a poor moment.
Oh, I mean, so we were always like working class, but like trying to be in another class.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's just ambition.
Yeah.
That's ambition.
Like whenever my mom would, like we'd go out for a nice dinner or whatever, my mom would always say, "We're going to be somebody tonight." We're going to act really like we're somebody tonight.
Yeah.
Like she got us once on New Year's Eve.
Oh God.
This stretch Escalade. There was like a party bus kind of thing that had like neon lights on the inside.
Shut up, the kind that like corporate dudes take to go to Vegas.
Exactly. Or like if you're in prom or something like
that. Yeah, my Sweet 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And my mom like brought us out, and she's like so sweet. Like She's like, everybody cover your eyes. And like we walked outside.
How many of you?
There was like 8 or 10 of us all together, like because she invited a couple of friends.
Siblings?
No, she invited, like my sister had like her like husband at the time, and like we all had our significant others basically with us. So there's like almost like 10 of us.
Did you guys get toasted?
I mean, definitely some of us did.
I feel like those, whenever you like rent a stretch anything, it's just like a one-way ticket to vomit.
There's one person that's going to go too hard.
Someone's going to go too hard. It's going to be the aunt you never expected.
Yeah.
And she's going to throw up in a purse that's not hers.
It was my brother this time.
Did
my
he
brother,
go too hard?
Yeah. Like we were so white trash in this thing. Like as we went to downtown Kansas City.
Downtown Kansas City, that's right. You're from Kansas.
I'm from Kansas.
My boyfriend's from Kansas.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's from Beloit.
Oh yeah, that's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
Central North.
So we go to downtown Kansas City, and my brother, like everybody is riding so high because we're in a stretch Escalade, and my brother he rolled down his window, like rather, some people usually stick their head out of the sunroof or whatever, and they're
God.
like, woo! My brother rolled down the window and was miming masturbating on people as we drove by, like,
what?
For no reason. Just because he could.
That was a celebratory dance?
That was a celebratory dance, I guess. Just like, fake masturbating on strangers as we drove by them on New Year's Eve.
That made me think of a memory when I was driving with my friend and her mom's friend. We drove down. We were in South Carolina, and we drove past this guy who was miming jerking off. Was that your brother?
It could have been.
Was that like some...
Maybe that's his thing.
This guy was in the front seat.
He's like, I'm good at this, so I'm gonna take this.
It's so strange. This guy was just jerking off. He was catching air. It was so strange, and her mother was panicking. Her mother was like, "What do we do?
What are we watching?
What do we
right
do?"
now?
I'm like, "Just keep driving.
Yeah,
we're in a car. We're fine. We're not gonna die via masturbation."
When my mom came out here to visit, and this is something I talk about on stage, she literally was like telling me like she didn't know like if I was like moving into the right area, and I'm like trying to calm her down, and literally we pulled up to a red light in Hollywood, and there's a homeless man masturbating inside of his sweatpants on a bus bench, just like vigorously, and my mom's just like, please come home, Bubby. And that was like the first, like within the first month that I moved out here, she came out to visit, and she's just like, this is
from
the worst. From Kansas. They don't see that kind of stuff in Kansas.
No, are you kidding me? No,
yeah.
They don't even do that in the privacy of their own homes in Kansas.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to
that is so
offend
funny.
anybody.
Oh my God. My mom, when I first moved to New York City, she visited me. This was like a few weeks after I had moved, and she was worried about where I was living.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
Do or die, Bed-Stuy. That's the motto.
Bed-Stuy.
Do or die. And you don't get to, they choose, the neighborhood chooses for you, like what's going to work out for you. You're going to do, you're going to die. And so we pulled up and stopped at this corner, and on a building to the left of us was spray painted "Do or Die," and she was like, "Do or die, Jesus Christ, Jessimae, where did you move?" And I was like, "That says Doherty. It's the mayor. It's one word. You're reading it wrong. Don't be rude to these people. No one's dying." She's like, "I think we need to move." I was like, make some more money. Help me pay my rent, and I won't have to live in this hard-ass neighborhood where people ask me when I'm jogging if I'm running away from people. I'm exercising. No, you're not, Snow Bunny. You're running away from the black boys.
That's what she calls you, Snow Bunny?
Snow Bunny.
Oh,
I'd go jogging in Bed-Stuy. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
No, I sensed quite the accent on your mom. Where are you originally from?
Syracuse. That's what we sound like in Syracuse. It's a very nasal. Really? Yeah.
It sounds almost a little bit Minnesota.
Yeah, it's very Midwest-ish.
Yeah.
There's like a Midwest Canadian.
Is Syracuse North Texas?
Syracuse is in New York.
Never mind. Whoops. Yikes.
Now, is Kansas City near Panama?
Wait, is there a Syracuse in Texas, though?
Maybe.
Man,
I don't mess
feel
with Texas.
So dumb right now if there's
Don't-
not a Syracuse in Texas.
How you supposed to know everywhere that's everywhere? I mean, come on. You're a little hard on yourself right now, Jeremiah.
I mean, I just, I try to be as factual as possible.
I
and
know.
I took that half court shot and
You're fine.
and whiffed it.
You tried though.
I did.
You tried. You're gonna
So,
look real good tonight. We're gonna go out. And we're gonna look our best.
We're gonna look our best.
We're gonna be someone.
To the nines. We're gonna be somebody
To the
tonight.
nines. I wonder what that saying comes from.
To the nines.
To the nines. Do you know the origin of that? I always love to know the origin of weird little.
Let me check. We have a resident fact checker.
We need a fact checker to check.
I think
to
he's
the
actually
nines.
calling in.
Is
right
he?
Now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Is this our resident fact checker that we have?
Yeah, it's Walt.
Walt. Thank you so much for calling in. Now we were just talking. Jessimae and I were talking to the nines. Where does that come from?
Actually, I'm glad you asked this. It's one of my favorite things to talk about because I'm a big golfer. It has to do with.
You play golf, or are you a fan of like the Gulf of Mexico?
Oh no, I don't. I'm
a golfer or a golfer?
I like golf. I don't play it. I just like to watch it. I don't have
Oh.
the hip swing for it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I gotta have a nice hip swing, and I just don't have that.
okay. Well, that's the first fact that I didn't know about.
Yeah, if your hip joints have to be loose.
The
to
flexor?
Get the flexor.
Uh-huh. Oh, well, so you were calling about to the nines, that expression. What's the origin of that? What country does that come from?
Well, it comes from America.
Okay.
I'm an American. I'm real proud of it.
Right?
So it comes from America and it has to do with golfing.
Okay.
The 9 holes.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you're going to play to the ninth hole.
Yeah, like you're a winner. You're a champion. You're going to play to the 9 holes.
So
We're
you're
going
gonna-
to dress to the nines.
You're going to dress to the nines like, I'll see you there
I'll
at the
see you at
ninth
the end
hole.
of the 9th hole because I'm
Uh-huh.
a goddamn champion and I'm going to win it.
Walt, that is actually way more than I thought you were going to come up with. But you are the resident
Sorry,
fact
I just
checker.
choked on a pine nut.
A pine
I
nut?
have a really aggressive pine nut allergy.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm a champion, so I like to push it to the edge.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of wimps out there with peanut allergies, but you
Yeah.
have a pine nut allergy.
What a plain nut. Get a more exotic nut, you loser.
Okay, we just lost Walt. I don't know
Wow.
what happened
Walt
to him.
seemed aggressive.
But to the I mean, that was a pretty good explanation, I think, of...
I think it was all bullshit, but we'll see.
You think so?
I mean, come on, to the nines.
Maybe we'll check in with
We'll
Walt
have to.
later.
We'll
I
have to
don't
check
know.
him later, but
Yeah.
yeah, it seemed pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Walt seemed like he needed a nap.
If, he was a little.
He was a
He
little.
was a little sleepy. I'm excited for a brand new segment. You're the first person.
I'm so excited
that
for
I
this
get to do
segment.
this
I've
with.
been smelling this segment.
Mhm. This new segment is called Pizza Party.
Pizza, 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 time for a pizza party.
Pizza party.
Yes.
So what do we
okay.
do?
So let's set down our mics for a second. I'm gonna serve you up a slice of Joe's Pizza.
Oh, humble promo.
Here we go.
I'm excited. I get a paper towel.
Yeah.
It's a huge pizza, Jeremiah.
Pretty big. And then just
Yeah, I mean, just like get in there.
yeah. And then we'll talking to these guys
Yeah.
over here, so we can
Who doesn't love pizza?
right. Oh my goodness.
Even like pizza's so good, warm, cold, piping hot, or even frozen.
This is really good.
Oh, good pizza.
Now coming from New York, you have a favorite pizza joint there?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I wonder if this is going to drive the podcast listeners crazy, us chewing.
No, it's fine. You guys deal with it. Pizza's delicious, and don't hate. There's this place called Kete.
Really?
It's like Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern pizza?
I don't even think it's Italian. It's on, I think it's on Bleecker in the Village. And it's this teeny little narrow restaurant. And they have, it's just flatbread pizza. But it's not your traditional, like, they'll have, like, the red sauce and the cheese. But they also have, like, crazy stuff. You know, they'll throw a fig on that son of a bitch. And you're like, what?
Wait, you can do that?
You can! But the dough is so good.
What's more important to you in a pizza? Is it sauce, or are you more of a crust or or the cheese?
The most important part is that it's loyal to me.
Really?
All that other stuff can go down the drain.
What do you think of Chicago pizza being from New York? Deep dish.
That's a lot of dish. Do we need that much? But it's so good. It's like a mattress of pizza. It's so thick. I want to take a nap in deep dish and then just eat my way out of it.
That sounds like the best thing ever.
Right? To wake up in a pizza mattress and then you just eat your way out of bed.
Oh my goodness.
Or like even a waffle bed.
Just basically any great food that you could eat your way out of.
How great would it be if your comforter was made out of pancake?
All right, you're really getting my stomach engines revved right now.
Your stomach engines rev. This is what happens when you have a stoner on your podcast. We just start talking
Just
about
the best ideas in the world.
No, I love pizza. You know, pizza reminds me of like when I was a little girl and we would go roller skating at the roller rink and there's always like a pizza party going on there.
Pizza parties are just, I feel like you just associate good memories with pizza parties, you know?
Mm-hmm. A break at work, somebody's birthday, hungover at 3 a.m.
Whenever they're surprised, too, because I didn't tell you that I was going to have pizza.
No, and you didn't tell me it was going to be Joe's Pizza.
Joe...
.it. What kind of fucking website is that?
I don't know. Maybe they got it back in the day.
Is it .italy?
.it, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I guess yeah, who knows?
Have you ever heard of a .it?
I don't think so. Maybe they just went for it, you know? They want to be unique.
That's real bizarre.
Save on some ink, 1 letter per box.
Yeah,
ends up saving
yeah.
saving thousands a year.
You're not a boozer, are you?
Mm-mm.
You're really maximizing your chew breaks.
Anybody that follows me on social media or whatever, they know how much I love pizza, and I'm wolfing down the slice in front of Jessimae right now.
So you don't, because when I think of pizza also, I think of the greatest food to eat when you're drunk and food to eat when you're hungover. It's a great hangover food.
Well, it kind of soaks everything up is, what I've heard,
So, have you never drank?
I've never drank before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your liver is probably like pristine.
I mean, it's so clean. Like, sometimes I go to the Art Institute and I model my liver.
And they just draw a smooth circle.
They just drop, ooh, that's so smooth.
That's amazing. No drugs.
No,
There's a little hesitation there. Was there something that you want to talk about?
No, it's just funny. This podcast is sponsored by Speedweed, though.
Shout out to Gino.
I love Gino. I consider myself a marijuana ally.
Like an advocate, but not a
yeah.
connoisseur.
I'm not a user, but like I'm definitely like an advocate. I honestly I think that marijuana should have been legal forever ago, and it should have been. I think the laws on drinking should be way harsher than
hell yeah.
than marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're driving, if you're super high, you're not going to get in a horrible accident. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
You're going way too slow. You're going 5 miles an hour.
Right, but a DUI with drinking, it's like it's killed so many thousands of people.
Yeah.
So I mean that's where I stand on it.
It's like, I think the statistics are like somewhere close to like 50,000 people a year die while drinking and driving.
Yeah, and then the amount of people who go to jail for that. So, yeah.
I enjoy the marijuana.
I know you do. I see you posting about it. And I have some weed here for you, actually.
What?
Yeah.
That didn't even sound like me.
What? Girl! Are you serious? What I found about whenever you give people weed, it's the most genuine, one of the best reactions that you'll ever get from people. If you give somebody marijuana, they literally look at you
light up.
You're some kind of like angel. Like you have been like transcended from heaven.
You are an angel.
Like
you look like an angel. Like if you sprouted wings and flew the fuck out of here, I would just grab another slice.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I think we're getting a caller right now.
Are we? Hello?
Hello, caller. Who's this?
Hello, it's me, the Weed Angel.
The what?
It's me, the Weed Angel.
What? Why are you calling?
I've got weed for Jessimae.
Oh, shit.
Jessimae, you know when sometimes you lose a little bit of weed and you can't find it for the longest time?
It's the worst.
But then, all of a sudden, you put on that hoodie. And you find it in that pocket that you forgot was there?
That's the best.
That's me, Jessimae. That I am the person who put that there for you.
I've been wanting to meet you for a long time.
Yes. Do you have any questions for me? I must go. I have so many other stoner homes to visit.
I do have one question.
Yes,
I have 2 pockets. Can you just stick some weed in there?
I will.
Like just any time? And I just want to put my hands in there and find him, and I'll think of you.
Before you leave Jeremiah's household, you will have weed in your pocket. And that is a promise from the Weed Angel.
Okay. I don't know. It was weird because they were calling in, but it sounded like he flew away from his phone.
No, he did. He flew away from the phone. Backwards.
Backwards.
Yeah. The phone's not even, it's still there. He hasn't even hung up yet. He just put it down and flew away from it.
Well, he is a weed angel, so he's probably just like hanging out. He's probably just like stoned. And,
Yeah, he's probably stoned. He's probably just flying around in circles.
yeah.
That would be great. Is it your superpower? Flying? I know it's like so generic, but
I think, honestly, well,
invisible.
mine would probably be teleportation.
Teleportation. Where the fuck would you go?
Anywhere and everywhere I wanted to.
But I would get option paralysis. There's too many choices.
Well,
Gotta pick an era. And then a place in that era. Dinosaurs?
that's teleport time. That's more time travel, I think. Where that would be an interesting superpower to have time travel, but
You're just saying
teleportation.
like going from here to like sunset.
Yeah, literally. Like,
Right. Okay.
like, yeah, and popping up, being
Yeah.
able to like go wherever. I think that would be amazing.
What if every time you did it, it made you 10 minutes older?
That'd be horrible.
Uh-huh. You'd have to use it
It wouldn't be worth it. You'd
No.
have to use it very sparingly.
Yeah, very sparingly.
We're talking family visits. Possibly, depending on how good my other flights of the year are to different comedy places.
Right. Whatever
I'd
the
stop-
layover is.
I'd stop flying Spirit, I'll tell you that much.
Fuck Spirit.
Oh my
You know what?
goodness.
Fuck Spirit. They're the worst airline ever. They're like, oh, we don't charge any fees. Oh, you charge fees, and your planes are
Out
shit.
the butt.
You're always late.
Always. They canceled on Christmas Eve for me one year.
Who did?
Oh, yeah. I had to spend another 8 hours at the airport
Oh,
in LAX.
man.
Yeah.
And that's the worst when you're just in LAX.
The worst. But I just hung out and I met another person who's like in the comedy scene that happened to be there. And we just had lunch and talked for like hours. And I was like, well, have a good flight. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Do you know what one of the best things about the airport is that you probably, you don't partake in? You can drink any hour of the day. And there's no judgment.
There's absolutely no judgment.
There's no qualms. There's no stigma about having a martini at 9:36 a.m.
Nope.
Because it's the airport.
Yeah. And people,
Time doesn't exist the same way.
people also know that you need to relax before you go somewhere.
Yeah. I need my pre-flight martini.
Totally.
And then I need my during flight martini. And then obviously a post-flight margarita. How the hell am I going to get off the plane?
Do you do edibles ever before you fly?
I don't really enjoy edibles at all because I feel like the earth bend under my feet.
Oh, you get like too loopy on them.
Too paranoid.
Yeah.
And it's, if I can microdose, if I do like a smaller dose, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I prefer just old school joints. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that concludes. We finished our slice of pizza.
We did.
And that was, Joe's killed it.
Yeah, Joe's killed it because it's cold and it's still delicious.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Like perfect, like room temp cold.
It's room temp cold.
Yeah.
They should serve it like that.
Yeah.
They should have that option for drunks.
So good.
Pizza, 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 pizza. This has been the pizza party.
Now I got my pizza lean on.
Oh, no. Got my pizza swerve on.
I got my pizza lean on.
Got my pizza lean on. Got my pizza swerve on. Got my pizza cush on. Got my pizza dry on. Man, I feel really good now.
Yeah, my chicken nausea has gone away. Joe's Pizza cures nausea.
Wow. I think I'm going to have to cover
They should put that on their box.
it. Cures Jessimae's chicken nausea.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what?
They're like, who exactly?
They printed that on the box?
Yeah, 100%.
So for my listeners who don't know much about you, like stand-up wise, I want to get into that, like how you got your start and stuff like that, because you were born and raised in Syracuse, New York.
That's right.
Not Texas.
Not Texas or Italy. There's a Syracuse, Italy. Not there.
Not there.
No.
And you started comedy out in New York.
I started comedy actually in Boston.
Oh, really? I was just in Boston last weekend, and I really it was my first time being like in the scene of I did the show at the Hideout and the show at Great Scott.
Oh, Great Scott! Oh
yeah.
man,
yeah. And I felt like I met a bunch of the Boston comics that were there, and I really liked the vibe and how nice everybody was.
Yeah, they're pretty. It's a community there.
Yeah,
for sure. I started in Boston. I was working in downtown Crossing at H&M as a stock girl.
Oh yeah,
and just talking shit.
Did you learn how to fold all those?
I fold
shirts
children's socks like my life depended on it. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And somebody was like, you're funny. You should try comedy. And I was like, all right. And I did improv for 3 years in Boston.
Really? What theater was it called?
Well, there was Improv Boston.
Mm-hmm.
There was Improv Asylum. And then there was a third group that I was a part of called The Tribe. And that was, so there was those three improv groups. And we did musical improv.
Heck, I love musical improv.
I always grab the finger cymbals. They were so fun. I just love these I still have them, teeny little finger cymbals that are just so pointless. Just the noise that comes from, you really have to like get going to have a good sound. It's just the effort. It's just such a difficult instrument. I could never master it. I just would be like ting ting and that's it.
Oh,
yep.
The snort is real.
The snort's real.
The snort is real.
Yeah, then I just moved to the snort. I'm like, I don't need an instrument. I have my own.
You got a schnoz right
I have
there.
a built-in snort machine.
The snort machine.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me that you started with a background in improv, because every time we hang out or every time I see you, you're very willing to just go for the joke or go for the bit. So you're super fun to riff with and hang out with, because it's like, oh, anything. Who knows? Anything can go. Like anything. Oh, we're doing a bit? All right, great. Yeah.
Well, you're always very positive, too, so it makes it easy.
I try to be.
It's not like everybody in the comedy community just wants to have fun.
Not
a lot of people
at all.
sit in the corner and
You'd
wallow.
be kind of surprised. I think I was surprised, like whenever you start working the clubs more,
Mm-hmm.
like who is like willing to hang out and like even like joke around before they go up, and then other people who do not want to talk to you at all. They do not want anything going on around them. I always let people collect their thoughts at least like 5 minutes or so before, but like there's been a lot of times where I'm doing bits like literally while I'm walking towards the stage. I'm like, it doesn't matter to me.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting to see everybody's process. It's also different.
Yeah.
And, I get it all. Because some days I'm like, very rarely, but I'm just like, I don't want anyone to talk to me. I want to focus. But the days that I do the best are when I'm like that, where I'm walking up stage having fun.
Yeah, whenever you're just like loose and you're like, you don't care. You're just like, I'm going to do what makes me smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And hopefully it
permeates through the room.
Through the whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first thing? Like, when did you move to Los Angeles? How long have you been out here?
I've been out here for 4 years. I went from Syracuse to Boston, and I went to New York. I was in Boston for almost 4 years. Then I moved to New York City. I was in New York City for almost 10. Just, working as a bartender and running shows and barking and doing all that fun stuff that comics do there, running around the city and getting up as much as I could. And then I came out to LA after I left the second season of Girl Code, this is my 4th year.
So you started doing Girl Code in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Was that the first thing that you're like you're like, okay, this is gonna help give me kind of a boost?
Yeah, I had done a ton of stuff up to that. I was on Tyra Banks' show as guest on the side, which basically was just a clown to make the show funny. And I did True TV. I did a lot of weird shit with True TV. I did some other stuff with MTV. I had done a lot of random shit, but Girl Code was the first like successful in the sense of, you know, social media sort of being a driving force of that, of the success of that show. You know, because my numbers, I had like, I don't know, 15,000 followers when I got the show. And then overnight, it just tripled. And then it just kept growing and growing, growing and growing. So definitely, it was right place, right time as far as that show was concerned. Because they were just in the zeitgeist of that, you know, group of girls that wanted a show and that were very active on social media.
Do you have a favorite Girl Code moment or like a weird question or interview segment that you had to do that really sticks with you?
We did this thing called Girl Code Tries, and it just was new stuff. You just try new stuff. And so I brought my dog in, and I had a pet psychic read his energy, and she goes, so she's, you know, reading my dog's energy, and she's like whispering in its ear. Did you ever see Insidious?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the woman who comes in to help she puts on the mask and she's like,
right.
That's what this lady was doing in my dog's ear.
She was insidiousing your dog?
She was insidiousing his ear canal. And she's like, well, your dog says you're kind of slutty. And I was like,
whoa.
Pardon me? How did you get so good at reading dogs? I just was like, and she's like, yeah, and he says you come home smelling like bourbon. I was like, first of all, I drink tequila.
This dog's nose is way off.
Okay, so don't even try.
Okay.
So don't even try and say I smell like bourbon. Get the liquor right first. Secondly, rude. It was so funny. Just this lady was serious. Like, she thought she could read dogs' minds and talk to them. Like on a level where they're like, yo, my mom's a slut.
That's a pretty harsh word to tell a stranger, too.
From a dog?
From a dog?
I mean, you lick your nuts all day, dude, and I pick up your poop. My dog's gonna say that.
You gonna call me a slut?
You gonna call me a slut?
I mean, come on.
Come on now. I thought that was funny. Yeah, we got to do a lot of fun stuff with that show. We also got to do this demolition shoot where we went into this place of business that was already going to get demolished. And they gave all the girls various tools to just tear shit up. Have you ever done anything like that, like construction?
No, but I'm sure it's pretty freeing, right?
Fun.
I bet.
To just bust out a wall. Oh. Like to just take a hammer and bust this wall out. I'm not saying we should do it, but it would feel really good.
I have this dream for this sketch that I want to do where I destroy a set while Andrew WK's Party Hard plays, and I just completely...
That sounds great.
Demolish.
You should do that.
A set.
Everything needs to get demolished. There's some place that needs to get demolished. You just have to find it and tape there.
Yeah.
Totally.
I want to do that.
You'll be so free afterwards. You're going to be like, this is the life.
I want to like run through the walls. I want to...
Yeah, like run through and give it a side shoulder and just break through.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Bust through coffee tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bust down those walls.
Yeah. Chainsaw couches.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
Come on.
Now you're just flirting.
Right?
Chainsaw couches.
Chainsaw couches.
I saw them at Coachella.
Have you seen chainsaw couches?
They're everything.
Wow.
I can't stand girls that talk like that.
I think we're actually getting a phone call right now.
Are
I
we?
think it's one of your fans from Girl Code. Let me see if she's on the line. Hello, caller. Who is this?
Hi. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I'm
the
listening.
Valley. The reception's like spotty. These people need to put up another tower. Like, how rude. How am I supposed to be able to call if you can't hear me?
I can totally hear you. What's your name?
Stasia?
Stasia? Is that short for pistachia?
No, it's Stasia.
Stasia.
Yeah, it's Lithuanian. Have some respect.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'm not Lithuanian, but my mother like really wanted to go there. So, and she never got to go there because she's from Wichita. But anyway, so she named me Stasia to like just commemorate her hopes and dreams that were shattered because she was just not capable of traveling.
Because she had you?
No, she was paraplegic.
Oh, I did not see that. Okay, she couldn't travel due to
Like
a physical
Yeah.
thing. Okay, yeah. Sorry, that really jolted me there for a second.
I mean, she was jolted too, but like she got around quick because her wheelchair was. We always kept it greased up.
You always kept the wheelchair greased up?
Yeah, it's important to like if you're wheeling around and you have to get places, you better grease that baby up.
Okay, this
Because
is
otherwise the gears get stuck. And I mean, how the fuck am I going to get my caramel macchiato?
we have another caller who is calling in that I think that wants to talk to Stasia. I rarely take two calls at the same time, but it's the caller ID is showing that it's Feminist Stacy, one of the people who call in a lot. Hello, is this Feminist Stacy?
Wow. I just want to talk to Stasia for a second. Are you there?
It's Stasia?
Yeah, Stasia.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to say how you represent women is horrible.
Oh, is it? Maybe how you represent speaking is worse.
Okay, I would say that if you don't have a bright thing to say as a woman, you need to keep your mouth shut. Did you even march, Stasia?
It's almost March, so I'm going to be marching all of March. What are you going
make
to do?
me want to vomit. You don't even know what a women's march is, Stasia.
I mean, I march every day because I look so cute in pumps, and that's how I walk.
You are despicable to all women, especially feminists around the country.
I love that Justin Bieber song.
Oh.
Despacito? Is that what you said?
No, I did not say Despacito. Oh, this woman is You know what?
That's a great movie, though. Oh, Despicable Me. I love that movie.
This girl is driving. I have to go. Feminist Stacy out.
Oh.
Okay, Stasia, I'm still with you. You really pissed off one of our longtime listeners, Feminist Stacy. I don't think that you ladies see eye to eye on women's rights necessarily, because she was saying that you need to shut up basically because you're a bad representation of women.
Yeah, and we don't see eye to eye because I'm 5'8", and she sounds really short.
I actually don't know how tall Feminist Stacy. I think she's a large woman though. I think she's like 6'3".
Large and low. Okay, large and low.
Okay, we have Feminist Stacy's calling back in.
Oh God.
Oh, wow. You're really going to talk about me behind my back right now, Stasia? Is that even really a real name?
Yeah, and it's a place. Like, are you even really real yourself?
I'm pretty well read if you didn't know that about me.
Are you pretty well read? Well, I read People magazine every day.
Oh, this girl is the worst. Listen, Stasia, I got a thing or two to tell you. You need to start going to some conventions, you need to start going to some marches, and you need to start volunteering around your community so you can make a footprint that's worthwhile on this earth rather than a carbon footprint, you dumb idiot.
At least my footprint isn't a hoof.
I am seething right now.
You're what?
I'm seething with
You say a lot
anger.
of really weird words. You should probably learn some like more regular ones.
Sorry, my vocabulary is not that of a bottom bitch.
You're what?
I said, sorry, my vocabulary is not that of a bottom bitch, Stasia. That's what you are. Just a commoner.
You know what I'm gonna get you,
What?
Feminist Stacy?
What, Stasia?
I'm gonna get you a manicure coupon to get your hoof sanded down because it sounds like you need a little bit of a break, like a pamper me day. Gosh.
This girl is not getting it through her thick, dumb noggin. Feminist Stacy out.
Wow. She's aggressive. That's like me
Sorry
before I get a cocktail.
about that, Stasia. You two could not be more opposite.
I mean, she just needs like a martini and like a mani-pedi day for her hooves.
Oh, wow.
Real
yeah.
aggressive. That's your
Yeah.
friend? God, you need to like
She's a longtime listener of the show, supporter of the show. You know,
shapers.
Jeepers, it is right. I forgot to ask Feminist Stacy if she was a fan of Girl Code, but I'm guessing not.
I don't think she's a fan of Girl Code at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in,
Hey, thanks. I'm
Stasia.
gonna go because I think my caramel macchiato's ready, and I can hear my mom wheeling around the corner.
Wow, some of the callers that we are getting today are pretty colorful people.
You've got weird people that.
Well, there's some kind of out there listeners who like this show.
I mean, those two. Put them in a match. Put them in a cage. I'll pay a pretty ticket for that. I like to see them claw at each other. Those two chickens.
I could probably listen or watch that for hours.
Yeah, that needs to be animated. Those two.
Oh, definitely.
Just to see what they look like. I mean, that would be very visually stimulating.
Well, I know what feminist Stacy looks like, and she's hard to look at.
handsome woman.
She's a very handsome woman. She has like pink hair and
Whoa.
sometimes facial stubble.
I mean,
But
Who doesn't?
she's a feminist, so she doesn't care about that.
no, she's
that
busy
physical
with
stuff.
vocabulary words.
Yeah,
Stasha has to worry about contour. It's a very different life. Obvi.
obvi. Let's get into this next segment called Fanning Out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Now, I reached out to the Twitterverse and Instagram and asked people if they could ask you any question, what would they ask Jessimae Peluso?
I love answering questions.
So this is from Twitter at Lil Birth Control.
That's all you need, just a little bit.
That's all. It's just a
You
little
don't
bit.
need a lot, just a little.
Can anyone become a good person?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's potential to become a good person, but a lot of your character is created by rearing your parents. So if you have shitty parents, you're probably going to become a shitty person, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have a big head start. I feel like if you were brought up by good people.
Yeah, if you're brought up by people where morals and ethics play a role in their, implementation of parenting and how they want to, teach you things.
Yeah.
I was lucky to have parents who always taught me to treat everybody the same and to be cordial and respectful and pleasant. And not just like pleasant, like fake pleasant, but just to genuinely want to bring joy to people,
Yeah.
But so the answer is no.
So you have to. It's kind of an environment thing.
I think, yeah, that's a tough one. It's like nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
I think if you have self-awareness, you can change anything. But there's that percentage of people who are just lost. They're lost. They can't get it. They can't get it right. I mean, look at all the people who are shooting up schools. You think they're going to be able to become good people?
Yeah.
This is going to take a lot more. They were obviously neglected, left behind, and unloved because they felt they had to do that shit. So that's a tricky question.
It is a tricky
Did I get
question.
too real for you?
No, and it made me think.
What's the question again?
Can anyone become a good person?
No.
Interesting.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. No, you can go
I'm
with
standing
that.
by it.
All right, stand by it. This next question is from Instagram at ZalexSteradox.
Zaddy.
Yo, girl,
Hey, boo.
what's your favorite hotel?
That's weird.
Right?
This is a real question.
Whenever I saw that, I was like, this is the question that you want to ask Jessimae? I mean, I'll ask it, but
What's my favorite hotel?
do you have a favorite hotel?
Well, you got to break it down by chains, first of all,
Okay.
because you got your your Econo Lodges, which I won't step foot in. I'm sorry, I'm not about that gang life anymore.
Gang, gang.
Gang. I'm a little more bougie. I'm in like a Hampton Inn life right now.
Wow.
No, free breakfast, free
Girl,
Wi-Fi, free
okay.
parking. Boo boo.
She liked that complimentary breakfast.
I like the amenities that make it so I don't gotta go into my wallet and grab a credit card.
Listen real quick.
I don't want to grab
I
a
want
credit card.
all the amenities.
Yeah, I want free breakfast. I want free parking.
I get mad when there's not a complimentary breakfast now.
Yo, can I get a fucking bowl of oatmeal?
Can I get a bagel?
Can I get a fruit slice?
Can I get an apple?
Yo, is it too much to ask for a glass of juice?
Could I get some milk in my gullet?
Is it possible I could get some water?
Could I get one ice cube? Could I get one ice cube, please?
Y'all got a sugar packet?
My throat is so dry right now. Can I get a night-night mask? Can I get a night-night mask? I just, amenities,
I love amenities. There's so many nice hotels across this country. I would have to say My favorite hotel would be Kipton Hotels. And I'm going to try and get them to sponsor my podcast.
Okay, do it, girl. Do it. I see you.
Joe's Pizza in Kipton.
Joe's Pizza in Kipton. All right. This is a great question.
Okay.
From Instagram. I am Amanda Brown. What is the ugliest thing that you own but can never get rid of?
My personality. I'm just kidding. I have a great personality.
That was just right there. Just shooting right from the hip.
The ugliest thing I own and I can't get rid of is this jacket I bought on a trip when I was driving with my ex-crazy borderline personality disorder boyfriend. And we were going to visit somebody who was going to help him with all of his stuff. And we stopped at this gas station in the middle of like South Carolina, and it was just such a miserable trip because he was so much to deal with. And I was like, I'm gonna buy something for me. I deserve it. I've been putting up with a lot of shit, so I'm gonna go in this gas station. I'm gonna get me something fancy. And so I seen something, and it was looking at me from across the room.
I feel like this is your alter ego whenever you are making any purchases. Listen up. Okay. So something was calling out to me, okay?
You know what? It's honestly been my alter ego since I was in high school. It's so funny. You better put this shit on your credit card, okay? I'm going to put this shit on my credit card.
Hey, can you put this on layaway real quick?
Listen, you go lay away or go put on my credit card. I saw this jacket from outside, from through a window. Like they were pumping gas, and I saw the jacket from this outside of the gas station. I was like, need to put it in my closet, and I opened the door, and on the wall with a bunch of other jackets with similar design was this bright cobalt blue zip up. Hold your horses, don't get excited. Horse design jacket. With pockets and a collar. What? Who's coming to town?
I think Jessimae Peluso is.
You bet your ass she ain't coming to town.
Girl, is that a horse coat you're wearing?
It's
right
a
now?
fleece horse coat. It's zip up. It's got pockets. It's 100% fleece.
Flirts.
That's 100% fleece.
Have you never worn flirts before? I mean, seriously.
It's one of my favorite jackets. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't fit right. But it's
How often do you break this bad boy out?
not a special occasion.
Just super
special.
Have you ever worn it to like a red carpet event?
I'm waiting to wear it to a red fleece carpet event. So at least it's like, at least it's fleece.
Yeah, at least.
It's a travel jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good because it's big.
Yeah.
And it's a showstopper. So it's like
Showstopper, pop locker,
yeah, you can't wear it where there's a lot of people.
panty dropper.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
gonna be panties dropping. People are gonna be asking questions. Do you know those horses? Those horses look real. Are they from real horses? Are those horses you grew up with?
Did you raise the horses and then cut the hair and then put it on the jacket?
Yeah.
Which one did you do?
What are the name of the horses? How does the fleece make you feel? What do you put in the pockets? Does the collar make you feel safe? There's a lot happening.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
That's amazing.
It's also on Instagram. There's a video of it.
I have to look that up. From Instagram at Weiler Tenzel. How much weed do you smoke a week in weight?
About 37 pounds. In weight? I don't know, motherfucker. I'm not Breaking Bad.
That sounded straight
I'm
up
so
like
loud
that.
to turn it down.
That
I'm so
sounded.
loud.
That's okay. That sounded straight up like Medea. A 37 pounds.
37.
37 pounds.
In weight? I don't know. I mean,
Like grams, I guess.
okay. I probably smoke.
Or if you like an eighth, or
I probably smoke a handful of weed a week.
Okay. A child's fist.
That's the name of my DVD.
A child's
That's
fist.
gonna be my special title.
A toddler's fist. Jessimae Peluso. Streaming now on CISO. But didn't CISO go under? Yes, it's streaming on CISO.
A journey into her
A
childhood.
journey into the childhood of Jessimae Peluso. A child's fist.
It's just enough.
Just enough. All right, that makes sense.
These are funny questions.
Right? This one's great. This is probably my favorite. At
God.
VPont5.
V-pun.
from Twitter. What's one celebrity, dead or alive, that you would get high with?
That's a good one.
Isn't that a really good one?
Now, does it have to be somebody who smokes weed, or it could be anybody? Does it have to be a celebrity who's a weed connoisseur? Because then, that limits it. Or
No,
is it?
It can be anybody. Because I know that you have a huge John Stamos obsession.
I'm over him.
Oh.
He asked some a girl to marry him in Disney World.
Okay.
Just like every girl's dream
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And guess what?
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. And guess what else is as well?
What?
She was preggers already when he asked her to marry him.
So you think that was motive behind the reason why he questioned and popped that? So now he's about to have some other floozy's child, not Jessimae's, and that just really pisses us
motherfucker
off.
was like, listen, not John Stamos. I'm over him. I could get high with anybody. Wow.
I think. Oh, this is a treat, but somebody's calling in right now. I think it's John Stamos.
Jesus Christ.
Every word I say, don't know I say forever.
I'm sorry, John. Did you just have a mini
Oh, forever.
stroke or?
If every word I say, London, I'll say forever.
London housing hurts forever.
Forever, forever. I'll spend forever loving you.
I think you got like 3 of the words right. Are you okay? Or are you?
Jessimae, I'm having a stroke right now, but I want to say that I should have married you. If every word I say.
Okay, we just lost John Stamos.
We lost him to a Stamos stroke.
Oh, I can't believe he has those every once in a while.
He does. I mean, as you do.
As you do.
When you have
Whenever
hair
your
that
Uncle
good,
Jesse.
Come on, strokes come up.
So I saw him. So he's buddies with Jeff Ross, and
Humble brag. You
I
told me
know.
this story.
I know. I have to say it on
You
this
have to.
podcast though, because so we were at Jeff's place, and it was one night where Jeff literally only had like a few people over, but the people that he invited were like, they were heavy hitters, if you want to call them that in the industry. It was like Chappelle, John Stamos, and also John.
If you say John,
Mayer.
I was gonna say if you said John Hamm, I was gonna kick the pizza box over, take the weed, and leave.
He was also there as well.
You're joking.
No, he was. Like 3 Johns were there.
John Hamm was there?
John Hamm, John Stamos, and John Mayer. Have you not been to one of Jeff's parties when John
Yes.
Hamm is there?
No.
Oh.
John Hamm
So
comes over?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He's friends. He's buddies with Jeff.
Son of a.
Yeah. So John Stamos walked in. The first thing I think. So I had to. It was one of the only times I've had to chill my wife out a little bit because you know what's funny? The only time where she like fanned out, and this says a lot to like what she's attracted to. I had to like pull her away from Will Forte at one of the goddamn comedy jams. And she's met and talked to John Mayer like 1,000 times now. Never like fangirls out. It doesn't faze her at all. Will Forte though, she melted like butter in front of him. Like she just like she wouldn't shut up. I had to like pull her away and like, okay.
That must have made you feel good though.
Yeah, no, totally.
She's going for,
She's going for the funny
talented
guys.
men. Not that John Mayer's not talented.
So she just had to like take a breath, like I need to not look over there right now because this is just too weird. Just because we grew up watching him on Full House and stuff, like we all did. But his hair is so ridiculously still perfect.
So good.
So, and that's really the reason why I wanted to bring up this story is I saw him. That was the thing that stood out to me. Where I was like, his hair is still freaking perfect.
Yeah.
How is it so good?
And you didn't even think to send me a photo.
I mean, it was one of those things where I was on the other side of the room. I would have had to walk over or run over to like be like, "Hey, I'm Jeremiah." I was like, it'll happen organically."
Son of a... I bet you he smells like sandalwood and procreation.
I think he smells like.
He smells like cinnamon and.
I was thinking
dick
cinnamon too.
And taint, fresh taint.
Those are two contrasting smells, but
I know, but like a fresh taint
I think
tarmac.
maybe like cinnamon and like a memorable leather couch.
A memorable. So taint.
So taint.
Yeah,
Exactly.
same thing, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I have to answer the question.
So you have to answer the question of who would you smoke with? Any celebrity, dead or alive.
I'm going to have to say I would like to smoke with, dead or alive, just because of the trip factor and how much fun it would be, Gene Wilder.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Gene Wilder's one of my favorites.
What if he took you on the set of Willy Wonka?
I would probably shart. I would shart chocolate. I would fill up the river with my chocolate shart.
And then you'd be floating in your chocolate shart river.
I mean, full circle.
Yeah.
Hello.
Full circle from the first time you chocolate sharted.
That's right.
Right?
Just going right back into where we came.
Yeah.
Just full circle. Some real Joseph Campbell shit.
Gene Wilder. That's a great one.
Yeah, he's the OG.
Oh,
He's one of my favorites.
he's so great.
Yeah.
One of the nicest compliments I've gotten from another comic. I forget who said it, but they've been watching Jamar and I do roast battle for years, and they go, "You guys give me this Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder vibe whenever you guys work together." And I thought that was like the nicest, coolest thing.
Yeah, because
like
they were
it's
the team.
and it's such a specific thing too. They're like, your guys' chemistry is really cool. Like I haven't seen that like since those guys. I was like, oh well, that's way too nice, but thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got to remember who said that.
I know. Yeah. This is from @SuperMeowie, which I on Instagram, which I she's know this person. She is she does press in Austin, and she's very good. And I love this question that she asked. How do you approach the female comic label as a label that is somehow different from comic? Does it motivate you, piss you off, or neither?
I don't utilize it really. I don't like call myself a female comic. I've never had it be something that's been a handicap for me. You know, I think the moment you give something power to be a roadblock, it will be. Or the opposite is probably true as well. I've just tried to be funny. I've just tried to be like, you know, bring my ideas and my, you know, thoughts and whatever I feel to the stage, and hopefully that transpires and that transcends any label.
Yeah.
You know, I think we get bogged down by titles, and it limits our brain to be able to enjoy the full spectrum of what we're witnessing when you go female comic or black comic or lesbian. But also it makes connections for people who maybe aren't as open as others, who can sort of view it from that perspective of not having to adhere to a label. Maybe people need labels in order to have some sort of connection or, you know, association. But
right.
I've never.
So it sounds like you use it if it identifies with people as something positive, and you just go about just being a comic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like, I'm a comic. I'm going to do what I think is funny, and I'm going to bring laughter to people, and not really even think about that. If you want to think about it, fine, whatever, right?
Yeah, and it's also like, I don't go up there being like, oh, I'm a girl, I probably shouldn't say it this way, or I'm a girl, I should talk about girl stuff. I go up and I talk about what I've experienced and what I feel, and I don't worry about the social norms or being restricted by labels, because it doesn't matter to me. What
I really like about whenever I watch you do stand-up on stage is how loose and physical you are, because I'm very physical on stage.
Yeah,
so
I
always really appreciate whenever I see other people being physical and doing act outs and different things like that.
Yeah.
And whenever I watch you on stage, what I think what is kind of cool about this is like you saying you're not labeling yourself. I think that every once in a while, certain people on both sides, male and female, they're afraid of not looking cool at any moment.
Yes.
And that's what I love about watching you is you will do an act out just like myself that will commit to it, and it doesn't matter if we might look stupid or dumb.
Or weird.
It's like, or weird or like
ugly.
or ugly. That's another thing. Like there's some comics who never like want to even hold
so
their face a certain way.
stoic,
They're
yeah.
so stoic because they're so afraid of not looking cool or not looking handsome or pretty that they won't really go for it. And I see you commit and go for it and go like crazy on stage, and I love that.
Thank you. I love that too. I love that about
It's so
you
fun.
and comics who go there. It's just I've always been attracted to physical comedy.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Bean was my favorite. Jim Carrey I love so much.
Oh my
Robin
goodness.
Williams.
Yeah.
You know, even Richard Pryor in his own right was very physical.
He was.
You know, he lived outside of that.
He's one of those people who he was very physical, but people don't really think of him as that because it was so effortless, and he would
Yep.
just do it in his stories.
Yeah.
So you don't. I feel like sometimes whenever people are physical inside their stories, they, for whatever reason, they're not associated as like a physical comic.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing like bits
Right,
or whatever.
right.
But like he would do like some act outs that were so like that are real to his life. That
Yep.
were just amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Was Jim Carrey one of those guys? Whenever.
Oh my god, Jim Carrey was just like, and even now, the whole spectrum of his career, the full spectrum of his career
It's
up
so
to this
cool.
day, it's so amazing. And even his what he stands for now is cool. He's on this like, you know, like universal. We're all a part of one conscious thing. Like he's on a whole other plane now. I think is cool.
I gotta show you this picture that.
Is it gonna make me lose sleep?
No, it's awesome.
I love Jim Carrey.
If you love Jim Carrey, I got chills and like I almost like welled up whenever I saw this picture.
And he's an amazing artist. That's the other thing I love. His art is so eclectic and interesting, and I love that he's sort of expanded his talents in where he sort of identifies how he identifies himself as a performer.
So I'm going to show you the picture and then I'll describe it to the listeners, but I want to get your genuine reaction because I've never seen this. This was Judd Apatow posted this on his Instagram.
Oh my God.
So it's a picture of Jim Carrey with his arm around Chris Farley.
Oh, and look, there's Apatow in the background.
And Apatow is in the background. And I had never seen that picture before, but those guys are two of my idols.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I never even thought about them knowing each other or meeting
no.
because they're just such both physical comedy powerhouses in their own regard that whenever I saw that picture, I was like, this is one of the coolest pictures I've ever seen.
Probably two of the funniest guys of that era.
Oh, dude,
Two
that
of the
90s era, I was like, oh my goodness.
Definitely powerhouses.
Tommy
and
Boy, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
The Mask. That's all that's going
That was
on.
all
Liar, Liar.
our
all that-
childhood.
yeah.
And Saturday Night Live, like everything that Farley was doing on Saturday
Oh my
Night
goodness.
Live, and
Chippendales,
look
Matt
at them.
Foley.
And what's crazy about this photo? What year was this? This is so long ago.
This
like
is
90,
I think this 94 or 95, yeah.
They had no idea what was going to happen.
No, they're both like
They're so young.
young guys.
Yeah, like they had, in their mind, there's so much ahead of them. And like, it's just interesting to see these two guys that sort of embody very similar styles. And one was just, succumb to his demons. And the other one found a way to utilize his demons in other areas of his life, like art and painting and all of that. That's
Use
what happens.
that as an outlet.
Yeah, if you don't expel your demons, they'll find a way to pool and be toxic. Everyone has them.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey is just somebody I think who has just been very successful at using them as instruments to portals to his other creative abilities.
Yeah, it's really cool to see what's going on with his art and his painting. And I had Eric Griffin on this podcast last week, and he told a few stories of just being around Jim on
that's
the
right.
set of I'm Dying Up Here.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see Eric do a panel with Jim and some of the other cast members of I'm Dying Up Here in Montreal. And wow, to see him like speak seriously and then flip it in a microsecond, like a millisecond, like to the funniest thing.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah. whenever he was talking.
Yeah.
So earnest and so sincere, and he just draws you in, and then a millisecond later you're dying laughing, and you're just like, I was just like watching a master control this giant theater.
Yep.
Like exactly how he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'll be fun. Like I'll bring the Jim that you want to see, but I'm also going to show you this other side of me that I want to show you.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yeah, he's dope. I've always loved Jim Carrey.
This brings us to our last segment, Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk. I'm going to play some sweet, sweet saxophone
I'm so scared.
underneath
Okay,
you
I gotta think
while
of the
you
story.
play. While you recount. It can be the story of how you lost your virginity. It can be a weird, awkward sexual encounter, a weird sex story. It can be a great sex story, a horrible one. Usually it's funnier whenever it's like
Something
bad
terrible.
or weird or whatever, usually. But you could do one where you're just like, I was killing it. But
I was riding and killing it, high-fiving.
High five.
We was having a good time. Okay, it's kind of a sex story. It has to do with a vibrator.
If there's a story to go along with it, that's perfect.
Okay. So I've got a really great vibrator. I'm not going to be able to get through this
Oh yeah,
story.
get ready, Jessimae.
And this is my last relationship with my ex, who I mentioned before. It was a very tumultuous relationship. Is it the sound of tumultuous? Okay. And we were having an argument. We argued a lot, man. We argued so much, and he knew where my joy was. And part of my joy lied with that vibrator. And this isn't just like any vibrator. Like, this is like Scandinavian. Like, yeah, like really well made, no parts from China. This shit is like manufactured by Norwegian trolls in the middle of fjords. So it's a really good vibrator, and it was very expensive. And after we were having this argument, and he goes and grabs it. And this motherfucker takes my vibrator and throws it into the woods. Threw it into the fucking woods. And like, I wailed like a woman who lost her child. I was just, it wasn't the woods. It was just off my patio into the atrium, but it felt emotionally like the woods. Like, it was a bush, but still. And the funny part is this motherfucker turned the vibrator on before he threw it off the patio. Turned it on and chucked it into the atrium, and it's like this, all these cement walls, and everybody else's apartment windows are facing this courtyard, and the vibrator is so loud, the concrete walls are reverberating the sound, and it's like you could hear it. You could hear it. It was vibrating off the walls. And I was like, I gotta go get it. And he leaves. He's so mad he leaves. And I was like, bye, bitch. Because in my mind, we're done because you just got rid of my happiness. And my happiness wasn't him, it was a vibrator. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get it. Like, I can't leave it down there. It was expensive, it brings me joy, and I'm gonna go get it because I made a commitment to this Scandinavian vibrator that I would take care of it the way it took care of me, you know? And so I go down, and neighbors start coming out, and like the nosy neighbor comes out, you know, the one in the robe. She's got her hair done. Bitch never goes anywhere, always dressed up. Oh, what's going on out here? What's that noise? Get the fuck back inside. Quit being nosy, Cheryl. Always dressed like you got a date. You never leave the goddamn apartment. Go take your rollers out and masturbate with your hands. I gotta go save my vibrator. And so I go, and it's just like, it's so loud because it was a fresh charge. Like the vibrator was freshly charged, and I could hear it vibrating. And it was on like a remix because it has like 8 settings because it's Scandinavian. It was on that setting. It was on zzz, 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 and it's like vibrating in the bushes. And like neighbors are like looking over the patio, and you know, people are starting to get nosy, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to go get this stupid, I'm not leaving it, I have to go get it. I'm gonna crawl into this space where we're not supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to be here, but everything I need is in the bush, and I need to get it in my bush. And so I grab it, and I have a couple neighbors that are just looking at me. And it, you know that you always think backwards in life, like what you could have said, what you would have said. You know, you always replay arguments. You replay moments. You always have that thing where you're like, oh, I should have said this. And so in my mind, I wanted to be like Jennifer Love Hewitt at the end of I Know What You Did Last Summer. When she's just standing screaming in a circle. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Just to all my neighbors staring because they were so nosy. But instead I just grabbed the vibrator. That it was vibrating and it was on. And I brought it home with me. Like a loving mother who just adopted a pet. And we had a great night together, boyfriendless, living our truths. Leaves and dirt and all.
That was incredible.
Was it good for you?
It was so good for me. I think maybe one of the lines for me was that got me was I was in the bush. The bush on bush wordplay. Yeah. It got me.
Do you do this as a live show anywhere?
I haven't done it live yet.
You need to do this as a live show. What's this segment called?
Sax Talk.
Yeah, you need to do this as a live comedy show. Why aren't you doing this as a live comedy show?
I had Dom Herrera on, and he's like, this show needs to be at JFL.
Yeah, 100%.
This podcast needs to be a JFL.
100%. And it would be so fun to do live.
I think it'd be fun to do in front of a live audience for
Hell
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time I do a show, just come do it and test it out.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, we'll do it as a segment. We'll do a Sax Talk segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. You know what else you could do is just have audience ask questions. You give advice through you playing the sax.
Yeah.
Sax advice.
Sax advice.
You could do so many things with this.
So many things.
That's the only way I want to tell my stories now.
Right. Well, it adds a lot.
It does.
It adds a surprising amount where you're like, oh,
Just like a lot of intensity.
a lot of intensity.
Yeah. And anticipation.
I think, oh, wow, this is weird. We're getting a call from your Scandinavian.
My
Your Scandinavian dildo right now.
Is this Jessimae?
yeah, who's speaking?
Yes, this is Trosha.
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 Trosha. Oh.
How
Hey.
could you forget me already?
I'm so sorry. It's been a busy
I
day.
thought that I was your one and only desire.
You are. No, you are. It's just been a busy week. I haven't seen you all week and
Why do you keep me in the drawer all the time now?
well, because the dogs get into you sometimes. and-
Why did you let the dog bite me and then there's chew marks? I'm not perfect for you anymore.
No, you're still perfect. I mean, there's a couple dents. It's fine. Like
I
you're
don't like to be a ding dong dildo. I like to go smooth. I don't like bumpies.
you only have a couple bumpies.
I know, but the bumpies are hideous. It's like dildo herpes when a dog bites you on the dildo.
You don't have dildo herpes. It's fine. You're fine. I've just, it's not you. I've just been busy.
Oh, it's not you, me. It's you. Oh, it's really. You just been busy. You know how many other females I've heard this from.
Oh, okay. I'm sure a lot. Like,
You have a boyfriend now that you are happy with.
Yeah.
You don't use me as much as you used to, Jessimae.
I'm so sorry. But I mean, you're still useful.
I feel neglected.
Well, welcome to my life.
Do not turn this around on you, Jessimae. I am the one guilting you.
Listen, Trosha.
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 Is that even
That is Scandinavian, don't you?
scant? What's it mean?
It means
I think we have our fact checker actually checking right now to see if Walt. Do you is Torisha? Is that an actual Scandinavian name?
Yeah, that's absolutely a Scandinavian name. It means vibrations.
see, what did I tell you, Jessimae?
That doesn't even sound. Walt sound.
Trosha means vibration. It is so literal, you have no idea.
He sounded like he just woke up from a nap. Like I think he just is like on some other situation. I mean,
I think that's just how Walt sounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is just how I sound. I don't know why everybody's talking a lot of shit here. I'm just here playing, Warcraft, and you guys are really interrupting me.
wow. Okay. Well, Walt seems really busy. So Trollashoff.
Trosha. Yes,
I'm sorry that you've been.
I am your vibrator. Do you not remember me? You can't even remember my
you're
name.
the best vibrator I've ever had.
Thank you.
And I mean that.
That's all I needed to hear.
The other ones are gone. There's no more other
That
vibrators.
means so much to me that we're finally exclusive.
We are.
I can't believe we are going steady after all of these years.
We are.
I was so scared and cold in the woods whenever I was thrown by your ex-crazy boyfriend. I always thought that no one was going to pick me up and that I was going to shake myself until there was no more battery life left on me. Oh no, a dog is coming. A dog is coming. Got to go.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything. That's, Trolshaloff.
I think Trosha.
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 Troshal.
Trosha. I think that was his name. Wow.
Yeah, he's very emotional. See, he has a little PTSD left over
He has a little PTSD
from being tossed in the woods. Anybody would. Anybody would. You get
Anybody
it?
is.
A little pun there for you.
Little pun.
A little
pun that in this
little
podcast.
lumber pun for you.
Lumber pun, huh? I love it. Well, this has been a very weird and wild podcast, and I've loved every minute of it. Do you have anything that you want to plug coming up? Social media or anything like that?
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Queefy May.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my Sharp Tongue podcast. You can find that all over. And I have a new podcast called Hilarious coming out on 420.
Heck yeah.
And I might be smoking the weed. I might be eating the pizza. I might be listening to music. I might be talking about aliens.
I think the weed angel is going to send you off with some weed today too.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
Yeah,
In my
absolutely.
pockets. Great.
Great.
Pizza and weed? I'm
Pizza
coming
and
back,
weed?
Jeremiah.
Yeah. Oh no, I hope you do come back.
You're like a guy who abducts children, but they're adults and you don't hurt us.
I just lull you into. Shh. We're just gonna hang out for a bit.
God, you want some pizza?
You want some pizza? Sure.
Some weed?
You want some weed? Come on.
Stay.
God, just give
Do you
me
like Jim Carrey? Here's a saxophone.
Here's a picture that you've never seen before. Thanks so much for coming on. I love you.
Love you too.